everybody, Archer with a sword here. You know what, I'm gonna scoot you back a little bit. You're a little too close for my comfort. No offense to you, it's just I'm claustrophobic. So I've been doing a little bit of recording lately, and I have a two-parter Beauty and the Beast video that I have for you guys. I apologize in advance. It's two-parter because I just went over time for both of them, or very, very close to, being over time. And I'm sure you don't want to hear me ramble about a movie for 10 hours. And I really don't want to ramble about a movie for 10 hours. It hurts my throat at the end of the day. And that's the only reason. But if you are interested in that, check it out. Yeah, it's a little lengthy, but take it in parts. I mean, if you want to hear me ramble about something, that's what most of my friends do. They have to take it in bits. So, this is more of a serious topic. If you've noticed in my past videos, you'll notice me do something like this. Like this. And that, fine ladies and gentlemen, is a tic. Tic not as in, the insect. Tic as in Tourette syndrome. I have Tourette syndrome, and I'm finally talking about it. I recently saw these documentaries about, kids and adults with Tourette syndrome and how it affects their lives. And it made me think, wow, these people are, really, really brave to, just come out and talk about their Tourette's in front of, a bunch of people. There's a kid on YouTube who, makes YouTube videos, and he's got Tourette's. I thought that was incredibly brave. So, I kind of want to talk about my history real quick. I think it started whenever I was 9 years old, because I was in 3rd grade. When I suddenly just couldn't focus at all. As hard as I would try, I would find something to do, with my fingers. I would pick at erasers all day long. I would sit at the desk and just tear my eraser to pieces. And the teacher would get, mad. Because, I had made, a mess of eraser shavings on my desk and on the floor. And well, now who has to clean that up? Either I do or the janitor does. And, it got worse from then on. And, I'm gonna scoot you down a little bit. Sorry. There we go. It got worse. If I didn't have an eraser, I would just play with my hands, just, fiddle with my hands. And, I would be looking off into Nowhereville. Here's the board. Here's me. And the teacher would say, Kelsey, are you paying attention? Uh-huh. I had no idea what was going on. And a lot of parents are on either spectrum of things where they say, oh, my kid's not paying attention, they must have ADD. Or there are other parents who are like, my kid's not paying attention because they're a kid. Of course they're not going to pay attention. My parents, I love my parents for the fact that they didn't immediately jump to one or the other. Because they're like, all right, well, she's 9 years old. And, at her age, yeah, she's going to be full of energy and going to be, her attention span is not going to be that large. But at the same time, we haven't really noticed this issue with her before. So, rather than taking me to a doctor and someone's like, she's got ADD. That's it! Eureka! They actually went to several people. They went to my pediatrician and they searched for a neurologist. The right neurologist, and whenever they got an opinion from one, they needed a second opinion from another. And the thing is, a lot of times nowadays, yes, it is just your kid being a kid and wanting to, pay attention to other things because school? Pfft, Why? What? No. But in doing that and in not wanting to, rightfully not wanting to drug your kids or, put them on medicine or call them ADD, they forget that it's still a thing and it's still a possibility, and it does happen to a lot of kids. So along with being tested for ADD, which I did have, and at that time ADD and ADHD were still two separate things and not, the same, which they now are lumped into the same thing. But I started noticing issues with verbal tics. On top of having this issue with not being able to focus and being a little too wound tight, I started noticing my hand, my arm just needed to shake. It needed to. If I didn't shake it, it felt like ants were crawling on it. I had this verbal tic where I wanted to make the K sound, the K, or a S sound like a snake. And I would just be sitting in my room playing, and then I'd just be like, oh, it feels like a slug is stuck in my throat if I don't say this sound. And sometimes if I was, speaking, I would say, what if someone were to ask, what's your name? Kelsey. And, then I'd be like, give me something else to say that has that K sound. Or, after, talking with that person, I'd be off on my own and I'd go, Kelsey, and I would pronounce the K very, very broadly because it felt like I had to. The worst Tourette was head bopping. I would like that. Oh gosh, I don't want to do that because I don't know. The thing about Tourette's is if you demonstrate it, then sometimes, or if you see other people with it, it kind of stirs up either other tics or it brings back an old one. It's crazy. I hate it. But after time and time dealing with that head bob, it wasn't a problem until I came up to my mom, because I would tell her when the head bobbing would happen and how often it would happen at school. And I said, Mom, it's starting to hurt my head. It hurts, it would hurt the base of my head, and it would hurt my neck from just doing this all day long. And Mom was like, okay, we seriously need help right now. So we did find a really good neurologist. And, at that time, medication was just, and it still is, it's so hit and miss, and it's so experimental, for your kid. Your kid's not going to have a fun time, trying to figure out which medicine is going to be best for them. They're just 100% not. Because it is such an emotional roller coaster. A lot of these medications, for ADD and Tourette's, they kind of calm you and everything. That's what they're trying to do, is to calm, your nerves and make everything more relaxed and everything. However, what often happens is kids just turn into zombies. Kids just feel they're emotional, they're grumpy, and they feel dead. Another issue that I dealt with was being indecisive. I was very indecisive, and I would take a long time. If my parents, were like, you've been doing really great in school, you've got A's in this and this, do you want to pick out something maybe from Target? And I'd be like, oh my gosh, yes, because that's the kind of little kid I was. I love toys. But whenever, they'd be like, all right, pick something out. Given a price point, but pick something out. And I would pick something out that immediately drew my attention. And then I would be like, this one. Crap, wait a minute. And then it would just be 30 minutes of me staring at it and thinking, do I really want this? Do I really need this? I have a lot of things at home. why are my parents doing this for me? I don't deserve this. And I would just put it back immediately. Like, just like, I can't. Because every time, my thought would go back to, I don't deserve this. It would go from, well, is this really what I want, to, I don't deserve this as a human being. And I would just break down crying, and my parents would have to, comfort me. And gosh, I'm getting emotional thinking about it, sorry. They would have to comfort me, and sometimes we would just have to leave without anything. Or we would just get it and be like, all right, see if you like it, and if you don't, we can return it. It's okay. But a lot of that was amplified with medication. Like, I would just get so emotional. It would be more than just being indecisive. It would just be so emotional, and then I would just be drained after crying for 30 minutes. Ugh. But that's the thing with medication is, you need to find out which one, and like you need to regulate which dosage, and if that doesn't work, then you immediately move on to the next one, and then it's the same cycle over and over again. I mean, 3rd through 4th grade was just a nightmare. Because it was getting settled into medication, and it was realizing that I had these neurological issues, and that, I was different from other people, and that I learned differently from other people. And that was frustrating whenever you had to be pulled aside and taught in a different way than other students, and students would look at you like, well, why is she getting special treatment? It stung a little bit. I remember coming to terms with my Tourette's. Like, at first I was like, really? Come on, I should be able to control this. And then I had to face the facts that I couldn't. I just couldn't control them. And then, as I'm coming to terms with this, I remember very, very clearly going to school, and one boy, gosh, I hated this kid. He lived to bully me, like to verbally tear me down. I was laughing along with him and his friend and a bunch of other kids, and then he noticed my head bobbing, and he goes, "Why are you doing that?" I was like, "I have Tourette's." "Yeah, but why are you doing it?" "Well, it's a thing that I can't help. I have to do it." And he's like, "You don't have to do it." Like, just super snarky, didn't know what he was talking about, but felt so certain that what he was saying was the truth. He's like, "You don't have to do that. You can stop it. Just stop it." And I would say, I can't. If I would, I would if I could. And his friend, who was a little bit more understanding, took his side, though. And he said, "Kelsey, you can take control of this." He was trying to be kind by saying, you're in control and stuff. But it really didn't sound like it. Because neither of them really knew what Tourette's were. And that just devastated me, that no one believed that I had no control over this. Well, years passed, and, we found a good medicine that stuck. And, I would have moments where it would be not good and then better, and then not good and then better. And for a while that was alright. And unfortunately now, Tourette's are coming back a little bit stronger. I think it's because, I'm an adult, I'm a grown adult now, and maybe just I've been taking the same thing for so long that it's just not working anymore. But I have different tics now, and it's the twitch and the blink, and I have you're gonna hate this. I have a scratching tic. I'm pretty sure it's a tic. I know there are a lot of other disorders out there that have pulling out your hair and scratching at yourself, but I'm pretty sure this is a Tourette where I just feel the need to scratch my head or scratch at my forehead or just anywhere. And, it starts out with having a genuine itch, and I'm like, oh man, my head itches. And then scratching, and, the itch is long gone, and I'm just still scratching, and I pull away, and I'm like, all right, we're done. It's not fun. And this is another one that kind of hurts at the end of the day. My head will be a little raw from just scratching all day, and I'm just like, all right, stop. I will say, Tourette's do feel like they're ruining your life. I've felt that before. And, you know, I know what kids and even adults, what they're going through when it feels like just everything sucks. And no one understands, and you feel like you're an inconvenience, but you're not. Trust me, everything gets better. And, you know, you know who you are. You know that you can't control some things. And you know that there are people who care about you and who look to help you. And please, just, if you're struggling with these things, find things that you like about yourself other than, you know, what you have right now. You're more than what you are diagnosed with. Music helps, art helps, friends help, family help. Focus on those things, because what you're struggling with is temporary. I promise. This is Archer with a Sword. Bye, guys.